Hello everyone. Welcome to the Messy Mama's Life podcast. We will be talking about mental health and mental health awareness today. This will be the place where I will start talking and advocating for mental health. I was originally doing it on YouTube, but I decided to switch over to both YouTube and here on podcast. So I will be recording this. If I like the recording, I'll be putting it up on YouTube as well, but this will definitely be going up on the podcast. So if you guys are all about mental health and mental health awareness, definitely make sure you follow along for the journey because I'll be posting at least once a week here on talking about mental health. I am planning some interviews with some people who have dealt with some serious mental health issues. That are reaching out to me and asking me if they can, have a platform to talk about their story. So we will be doing that here in the near future when I plan out, meeting them and all of that. As well as we'll be talking about my mental health journey because I am as well a part of this community and I regularly deal with and have dealt with my whole life anxiety and panic attacks. So I have dealt with my fair share as I have grown. So we're gonna be talking about a lot here, and I kind of want to open up the conversation for us to really dive deep into things. I will make a disclaimer here. I'm not a medical health professional at all. This is just me and my opinion and my story as well as others. Just opening up and talking about what we've gone through and how we've overcame it and how we cope with it. So, yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into today's podcast, which is going to be about the do's and the don'ts of an outsider looking in to somebody with mental health issues. I think that is one of the biggest questions I get with people who are on the outside looking in, loved ones, friends, family, spouses, all of the above, um, is how can we help? What should we do, what not, and what should we not do? And so I've compiled a few different what to do's and what not to do's to kind of give you a little insider if you are an outsider on what we want from you guys, what we are looking for when we're going through an episode and we are, confronting you or needing help from you. So, first and foremost, we'll start off with the what to do. We'll kind of go back and forth between them, but this one I think is one of the most important ones. Number 1, listen. So if somebody with a mental health issue, will say me, I have a panic attack and I go to my husband and I say, babe, I'm having a panic attack. Can you help me? Or can you listen? I am going to want him to just be an ear for me. So if I can give you some advice, if somebody comes up to you and asks you to be an ear, be that ear. Because if they are entrusting you with their mental health issue and they're coming to you and talking to you, they trust you full heartedly because it's not easy to open up. It's not easy to open up and admit that we're having a problem. So, number 1 thing, be a listening ear. And even other people here in the mental health community. If you have a friend who is going through something, you know how it feels. Be that ear for that person. Um, yeah. So now we'll go into what not to do. We'll do one of the number 1 things I would say for what not to do. And that is don't say you know how they feel. Because most likely you don't. Unless you go through that. And everybody is different. So really, it's hard to say if you do feel how they feel. So when somebody comes up to you and tries to explain to you, hey, I'm going through this, don't sit there and say, oh, I know how you feel. I know how you feel. Just be like, I hear you. I understand. I'm here if you need to talk. Because when you immediately go to, I understand you. And I, one, have a problem with this myself and I'm working on it. I want to relate to everybody. So because I have panic attacks and anxiety, I automatically, when somebody says to me, hey, I'm having a panic attack, I automatically want to jump in and say, I understand. But honestly, sometimes it can be a little bit of a detrimental thing because what you think you understand may not be what actually they are going through. You may go through something completely different. So, what not to do? Don't try to understand what they feel. Just be there, be a listening ear, like what to do. Another thing, what to do now. Offer some reassurance. So if somebody is going through a panic attack, for say, or anxiety attack, and not all of this is going to be, but this applies to everything, but referencing anxiety and panic attacks here, because that's what I know the best. I don't think rationally when I'm going through one. I'm not thinking rationally at all. Matter of fact, like I said, I'm in that tunnel. And so I'm probably not going to be making the best decisions out there or most logical decisions. So don't pressure people into making a decision here or there or, talking about things that really shouldn't be talked about in that moment. It won't help. Try not to make assumptions. Again, that's kind of like what I was talking about originally. One of the first, or one of the second, the second thing we talked about is don't make assumptions. So, what to do is try not to make assumptions. Keep social contact. Make sure you're there for them. Keep your phone open, keep your text open, or if you've got the time, just say, hey, I'll drop by if you need, or I'll bring you something. I'll bring you takeout tonight so you don't have to cook and don't have to worry about that. Or, if it's your spouse, take them on a date night. And this may not work for everybody, but this is definitely something I have learned helps me. Getting out of the house and doing something definitely helps keep my anxiety and panic attacks at bay. I am a little backstory here to kind of reference. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm at home a lot. These four walls definitely tend to feel like very small some days. So, anxiety and panic attacks are prone to happen when you're doing something repetitive like this, like if being a stay-at-home mom and you're constantly in the house. So, one thing that helps me with my anxiety and panic attacks is getting out of the house. So, my husband knows, if he comes home and I'm having a panic attack, or it's the weekend, I'm having a panic attack, he knows that, hey, let's go do something, whether it be let's go to the store or let's go out to eat. That helps to kind of keep my anxiety down, if not help to distract me away from that moment. So keep social contact. We'll go on to another don't. Don't take it personally. Most likely, you are not the reason for whatever is happening. You are not the reason for any of it. So please try not to take whatever is being said or done personally. It is a responsibility of the person, no matter if they're having whatever episode, to keep their actions or be responsible for their actions. But sometimes things come out, words are coming out that aren't necessarily what we're thinking, but is what just happens to be what comes out of our mouths or what is done. Please don't take it personally. We will take responsibility for it, and I'm sure things will be reconciled. But no, it's not you. In most cases, don't belittle either. Don't make a person feel like they're so small because they're having these problems. You don't know what's going on in their head. You don't know what's happening in their lives most of the time. Sometimes things happen for no reason at all. I've had many panic attacks in my life where nothing has triggered it. It just happens. So don't belittle somebody because of what they're going through. Again, you don't know what they're going through. Uh, don't try to understand. That's kind of one of the things we talked about earlier. Most likely you can't. And then be present. Being present in somebody's life is huge, and especially somebody who has a mental health issue and they're going through that in that moment or in that period of life. Just be present for them because they need it. You know, we all need social contact of some form. And when we're going through something mentally, it's exhausting. And sometimes we just need somebody to be there for us. So be that person, be that shoulder, be the best friend, be that spouse, be that parent, whatever it may be for you. Just be there. So that's all I have written down for right now. And I I wanted to keep this first podcast kind of short, sweet, and simple. So we're going to probably keep it at that. If you guys like this podcast, definitely continue to follow along. I'm sorry for any back noise. Like I said, I'm a stay-at-home mom to 3 boys, and they are loud and crazy, and um, the walls are thin, so you'll hear noises a lot. I will do my best to try and cancel out everything, but sometimes stuff will slip through. So if you hear the boys screaming in the background, they're playing, they're having fun. Yeah, so I'll be back again here probably next week with another podcast episode. If you want to leave me some feedback, either here on YouTube or here on the podcast, wherever you're watching, definitely do so about what you want to hear from us, what you want to see from us. We will be doing, as much as we can. And like I said, I am getting some interviews around, so be on the lookout for those. And thanks for following along and listening. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your week. And I will talk to you next week on the next podcast. So have a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you later.